Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning? Alan, JW, Thomas, Mai, Vin, Chip, Julie, Emma, you guys all doing well? Good morning, Carol. Hey, Tyler, with you. Glad to have you here. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Somebody just PM'd me. Yes, I still am in Colorado, and I do plan on working more this week. Yes. Okay. Friday, I did a YouTube video. I don't know if anyone saw the YouTube video. This might be a little bit of the same. We'll add a couple charts here, but for the most part, this will be the same thing. I want to look at this 3-bar chart right here, 3-bar chart, and I want to take off this real time for a second. And that was a nasty end of Friday. Now, for those that aren't familiar with a 3-bar chart, it just simply breaks the day down into 3 bars. So this is Gravestone Doji here. This was all of Friday's candle, one candle. We go to a 3-bar chart, and it breaks that candle down to 3 bars. So this is the first bar of the morning. This is the second bar midday, and this is the third bar or the last bar of the day. I also use it even if the day is not finished, where I might say, okay, bar number 3, bar number 2, bar number 1. So I'm looking at those 3 bars, and that would be the last bar of Friday. I treat it the same way I would a daily chart. It just gives me a little more insight on the attitude for the day. So I look at this, and Friday morning we gapped down. Bulls rallied back up. They showed conviction. They came right up. You can see where they popped up against a little bit of resistance, and they weren't happy. They didn't like it. A bigger bear, whatever you want to call it. And then we had this big move to the downside. If there's any positive here, we held just about where we opened, and we're right on that 50-period moving average. Where the negative comes in, that was if there's any positive. Here's the negative. We are just not putting in a bullish top right now. Now, that's not to say that sometimes today, this morning, the end of the day, the bulls can't just grab a hold of this and just start taking us up. They could. Trend indicator is still green, so I have to remain bullish, but insanely cautious at the moment. Here's a couple of reasons why we are flirting with this double top, which I don't think we should take lightly. Usually these things, they don't bother me, and I'm not necessarily saying it's bothering me now, but I'm not going to turn my head from it either. I'm not going to ignore it. The next thing we have is this gap down right here. And we've not overcome this gap, and now we have this Gravestone Doji here. So the top is not the best tops in the world if you're a bull. And I think what we'll do is, if the bulls take charge, we'll worry about targets above when the time comes. Outside of that, some things I've got here, targets I have here. If we break below this 437 level, basically the trend indicator, what I see as a possible target or possible support. Now, I say possible because, for one, we can draw all the lines down here where we think support might happen, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's all about price. All about price. So we need to see those bulls take charge in there. And if they don't take charge at the 434.80 area, then we're going to be looking at these lows, whatever this was, the June 26 lows right here. So it just keeps moving down. If we don't see the bulls take charge, it just keeps going down. The same scenario happened right here. And it happens like this all the time. You have a bullish candle, then you have a bearish candle. You have bearish follow through, bearish follow through. You had a bullish candle, but it didn't take charge. Take charge is when you have follow through. I saw on our Facebook page that there were a couple of people chatting last night. Somebody shared some pinball setups, which I think were fantastic. If you're here, you're listening, thank you. And then someone else just pointed out, and I didn't know what chart they were talking about. I was in a situation where I couldn't look. But they said one candle does not make a change, and that is so true, absolutely true. So here's one candle that we might think, okay, this is it, but all we did was keep going down. Nothing made a change. So here's where we stop. And, what in the world makes that such an important place? Who knows? It's about buyers buying. Well, buyers bought it. We had some follow through, and now the sellers are picking it up. So we just have to wait for the buyers, or if you're a short person, just keep following any shorting that goes to the downside. Anyway, there's, I think, a little bit more on that video if anyone's interested. It's in YouTube. Let's take a look at the Qs here. The Qs are just moving sideways. I don't think they finished quite as bad. Well, maybe I better go look. Yeah, they did actually. I mean, the same type of candle. We're holding at that 50-period moving average. We're at this place where it's just going to take the bulls, just pop up a little bit, not much, and could set this on fire. But if the bulls stay asleep too long, the sellers are going to come in, and they're going to take advantage. One thing for sure, if we look at that daily chart, we're getting pretty fanned out here, where price is maybe a little too far from the 50 for our for any situations out there. We're talking like PAL, for instance. I mean, there's too many situations out there right now that just I don't know that being fanned out like that is the best thing. And a pullback would squeeze the fanning together and allow more room to go up. So anyway, that's something I want to watch right here. Diamonds have just not helped us out. I just no which way, nothing. They haven't killed us, but the diamonds just aren't helping out. We're just moving sideways. That's all it is. We get these little pops, these little hooray, here we go, but they just have no juice, none. And we kind of need them to help a little bit, just a little. Tech can't keep climbing forever. We're going to need a little something to help it. IWM, I think IWM is helping by far more than diamonds are. I know we pulled back last week, but overall we're still holding above the 200-period moving average and the 50, and I think that is something that's very positive. Not only that, we have rallied up here, and there we are. So we've pulled that 50 up to the 200, and now we're holding in here. I don't know. I think for IWM that they're doing a pretty good job. Now let's get through this week here. I think banks start reporting pretty quick. There's J.P. Morgan. They report on the 14th, so that's this week. Okay. The end of the week, the banks report, and that could be, well, good or bad. It could be good or bad. XLF, if you ask me, that's a bullish chart. Trend, let's right in here, right there. We broke out and tested higher. So right now, and I can see that we're opening up about 33.60. So right now, I have to say XLF is looking good. Now that doesn't mean that banks are going to do great. Doesn't mean that at all. KRE, on the regional side of things, I look at this chart. I can't. Where's the bearishness in it? Where is it? I just don't see it. It's doing what a chart should be doing. Doesn't mean that the regional banks can't fail. They could fail and drop this down to way too low, in fact. So we don't want to see that. All right, enough of that. A few charts that I do think are looking pretty good. Speaking of banks, let's start with Zion. I think Zion's looking pretty good. Now keep in mind that report's here on the 19th, so that would be Friday. No, that's going to be next week. So it's coming up as reporting. Let's get done with the banks. HBAN is one that I think is looking pretty good. This is a rounded bottom breakout. Trend is working good. Price action is showing that it's got more bulls than sellers. So, I'm not going to test earnings with HBAN, but it's looking really good here. So TSLL, I'm still holding this, and right now, here, let's turn this back on. There we go. I'm still holding this, and right now we're setting up a chart pattern that I'd be buying. If it continues to slide to the downside, I'll walk that back. But right now, the trend is up. We're making a good chart pattern. Nice gap up. Come back a little bit. Do a little backfill. We just need those buyers. And pre-market here looks like there's more buyers than sellers pre-market. Not a great deal, but a little bit more. Ford. I've been watching Ford now for several days, and here we're pulling back. This morning we pulled back a little bit more. We're trying to open up here, so let's keep our eyes on Ford for a bullish trade. I want to go to the weekly chart here. If you just look at that weekly chart, past 16.25 up here, and that would be this high, where we failed up here. What is this? August of 2022. We break out there. That gives us that $19 right up into this area target, and then about 22. And I just picked about half of that because that's something typical that I see on charts like this. So Ford's looking good, I think. I have to watch that one closely. What happened to some of the energy stocks Friday? Good Lord. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on some energy. SLB just jammed right up there. Looks like we're holding up really well. Halliburton is another one that just popped up right here, and we're just, nice little easy day so far this morning right in here. So the way I'm going to go about this market is, give it 15, 20, 30 minutes to decide what's its attitude, which way it's going to go, and then we'll maybe look at some trades, manage what we have, pick up a few more, things like that. Let's see. Hey, Carol, you got into SLB. Way to go. Yeah. I mean, wow. I think MRO. I didn't go through all my list of energies, but that's looking good. Here's MPC looking good. A lot of the energies, APA, which I'm still holding APA. That's looking really good. But man, talk about rocking. Let's rock. Devin, you made $8,000 on SLB. Congratulations. Don't forget to share when you bought it, though. When you buy it. This is important. I encourage all members to share, just like I do. Hey, I bought XYZ on this date. So make sure you share. Anyway, congratulations, $8,000. Woo, daddy-o. That's impressive. Way to go. Congratulations. Okay, I need to step out of here. I'll be back at the bottom of the hour. Thank you, everybody, for hanging around. I do appreciate it. Take care, okay? See you in a bit.